Alright, so this is what I've got done on day 2 of raking. I'm not going to do any video, just figured I would give you guys a quick shot standing on top of the 706 seat. Remember, it goes around and rolls underneath that hill, back side of that hill, and on the other side of this convenient bush. Yeah, that took me about an hour and a half. And this grass, I'm sure you can tell that's green. It looks pretty good. Anyways, let's start baling it. Alright, today's Friday the 25th of September. We made 21 round bales yesterday. I didn't record that. Actually, I think my wife did.
Yeah, it's about 8 o'clock. It's actually getting quite dark. You can't tell it in my video, but believe it or not, that's our one tractor where all the lights work.
If she did, you'll see that before this. But this is what we got. 21 of those. I've got my neighbor's trailer over there that I've got to unload and or unhook and then load up with hay. He's going to pick it up later. But we're getting ready to go over to the other field, the front section. This is the field where you saw me mowing, and it had that back corner with the terrible triangle, and I was kind of on a rant, you know, that day. But yeah, we baled it up. We started at like after 6 and we're done by 8:30, so it wasn't too bad. But you know, you see there's just bales scattered everywhere and around the bend, you know, back at that bad spot. So yeah, stick with us and we're gonna go start baling up the front field. Before we do that though, I wanted to come over here. We're in that little nook, you know, the little pain in the butt spot. And I just wanted to come over because this stuff was still kind of damp. I mean, you see the color. It's beautiful, soft grass. It always just, it stays really soft. That's why I pay attention to it. Normally, you're not supposed to be able to do that with a round bale, but it is what it is. Oh, there's a stink bug. Anyways, pull my hand back out. That feels cool as a cucumber. That's doing good. Let's go check this one over here because it was pretty moist too. You can always tell with my baler and any other closed throat baler, or maybe with all balers because I don't know. If the hay's too wet, it likes to wrap around the rollers, and it wrapped a couple times on me back here. The rest of the farm it really didn't, or the rest of the stuff we baled up, it didn't. Yeah, that feels good too. And I always do this just to kind of get a judge for my, you know, the job I'm doing. And it helps me learn for the future, like, well, how wet can I bale it? And that also helps me maintain this color. You know, I mean, that's dry. You just saw me rip it. It's dry as all get out, you know. But it still looks good, and that's what people buy, you know. So, yeah, I just always try to learn as much as I can off every bale. If I ever got one in question, I come check it the next day. I'll probably check it tomorrow, too, because they don't always heat up the next day. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 days before a bale will heat up. And I have had one bale heat up on me once before. It wasn't bad, though. See, this one feels... Now, granted, if you see where the shadow is, This one probably got sun not too long ago. And it would have gotten it on this side. So I'm going to check the side that would have been shaded from the sun longer. And it's cold. It's good. Yeah. So, yeah. Just a little tip. Always check your bales. And, you know, if you got one in question, bale it up anyways. Don't move it. And then come back and check it. And it'll tell you whether or not it was actually too wet. Alright, so now that the sun's really bright, got the baler greased up, got the tractor greased up and gassed up, not fueled up. I spilt it everywhere as normal, so I'm going to let it air out for a little bit, then we'll start it up, let the tractor warm, and get to baling. Well, my puddle doesn't look too shiny anymore, so I guess we'll try it. Another thing I noticed last night, because we finished after dark, none of my dash lights work. All the lights work on the tractor, but the dash lights don't work. And I pulled the fuse. So these have one fuse. And the regular lights quit working. So that obviously doesn't have to do with my dash lights. But I actually have a pack of bulbs for these. From where I bought like a 10-pack when I replaced them on the other tractor. So hopefully it's just the bulbs. And if not, I can just run a hot wire to the back of my light switch and call it a day. Plus, I'd like to see if I can get a light in that gauge. I don't know if there is a spot for one. I haven't looked yet, but so yeah, let's see how she starts. I'm not going to choke her. See what she does. Make sure the throttle's down. Yeah, you can't ask for nothing better than that. I've done a little low because it's cold. I mean, it's not cold out, but, you know, the tractor hasn't ran since yesterday. Yeah, it's idling at about 600 RPMs, 550 maybe. It did use a quart of oil, you know, since I last checked it, which I checked it, I don't know, not before yesterday. Or it was before yesterday. I think I checked it before I cut that, when I cut the second time. Either way, if you watch my videos, I talked about checking it. So it's used a quart of oil since then, and I've cut like at least 10 acres and baled half of that. I rake with the V275, you guys know that. Which I guess is not too bad, but it's probably going to just get an overhaul, and maybe that is, it doesn't smoke out of the exhaust, so that would lead me to think that it's not valve seals, you know, because typically with valve seals, you shut the engine off on anything, and the oil will drip down in the back of the valve, and then you start it up, it'll smoke for a couple minutes and then go away. This one doesn't do that. If you get any smoke when you start up, it's black, and that's fuel. You know, we all know that, gas. So it's probably just in the blow-by, you know. I guarantee you 1 in 6, the cylinders are shot. And when I get into rebuilding this thing, I will talk about why that happens. And I will also show you what I'm going to do to remedy it. A little off the wall, but I think it'll work. You know, just with some effort, you know, and modifications. It'll be to keep from, what happens is 1 in 6 leans out. And we're going to prevent that from happening. But anyways, that's for a future date. The RPM's up to 750 now. I'd say we're good enough to start going, and it'll be warm enough by the time I get to baling. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see that stuff on the hood there. Some of it's bird shit. But my muffler just started spitting a bunch of rust out of the bottom of it. So there's a piece. So I'd say it's probably time for a new one of those. I had her glowing cherry red the other night when I was mowing. You know, just from being not wide open, but I was running it, you know, the disc mower for several hours. And well, I guess that's just what happens when they get age on them. So this is what we got to bale up. And I've showed you guys all this. Another thing, what my plan is for baling this, over that hillside and over that hillside, I'm going to bale completely last. Absolutely last thing I do. I'll knock out all the top straight roads and all the stuff in this little valley. My thought behind that is well, there's a really sketchy spot over there, and if I decide to roll the tractor, I want to have all the hay made already that I possibly can. So let's get started at it. Alright, so the good, bad, and the ugly. See that? That's about 8 inches thick, and it is packed tighter than snot in between those two rollers. That's all the stuff I pulled out. For some reason, it is always this side of the baler, and I don't know why. I've had it happen over there. Most time it's this side of the baler. I can tell you right now, the hay is too dry. That's all there is to it. It's 52% humidity right now. This is the third time I've unplugged it. We've made 2 bales so far. It's only been like 15-20 minutes. It's not like it's been hours or anything. But we made 2 bales. The first one was a leftover from last night, so it already had half a bale in the chamber. One didn't want to feed good, and I aborted it and started a new one. That's what the second bale was. Now we're on the third bale, and yeah, it's not having it. Now, do we keep dicking around and see if we can maybe stuff its face full? Maybe that might happen. I'll probably give it one more shot. But the other option is to wait until dark when the humidity and moisture goes back up. Because hay is just like anything else. If it's bone-ass dry, it will take in moisture pretty easy. And so I can either wait till dark, or I can wait till tomorrow after work when it's darker and go home and get some stuff done at home now. Or me and my wife were talking about coming out here Sunday morning, you know, when there's still a little bit of dew, or come out here when there's definitely dew and then start baling as soon as the dew is off. Because you don't want dew, obviously. Like, you don't want actual, you know, anything that you could grab and tell is wet. But we just want moisture. We want humidity within the windrow, you know, some water content, not water content 0. Anything below 20% you're fine anyways, as far as safety and mold and whatever. So I guess let me dig this out, try it one more time, and then talk it over with the wife, and we'll go from there. Alright, we got half a bale in there. I'm going to try it again. We'll see if we can get that sucked up. It probably will now that I've pulled everything else around it. And if this bale doesn't go good, or the next bale doesn't go good, then we're going to call it a day. And the only other option I got is Sunday morning, when some dew's on. Because the humidity isn't supposed to go up enough to justify baling today if I wait like an hour and a half or 2 hours. And I work tomorrow, so can't do it tomorrow morning. And tomorrow after work, according to the weather, the humidity is going to be worse than it is now, meaning too dry. It'd be great if I had fresh cut hay on the ground, but not when I've got hay that's been out here for a week. So let's see what happens. Well, that didn't take too long. What do you guys think?
Not long at all.
No, I made it about 20 feet, pretty much to the crown of the hill. Literally like maybe 30 feet. And she quit again. So I guess that means that we're going to go home and probably get something to eat. Probably work on my dually. And try again Sunday. Alright, well, I tried it one more time. Didn't go so well. Don't know if you can see that. It started to plug. I kept going. Started to plug more, and I kept going. Probably caused myself more of an ass ache for, you know, Sunday, because I'm not pulling it out today. But it is what it is. Now we're making the long trail home back to the parking lot, you know, the staging area, whatever you want to call it, where we keep the equipment. But it is what it is. We'll try again. That's the name of the game. Don't give up. So, if you watch to the end, I appreciate it. If you like what you see, give me the thumbs up. If you got any tips for what I'd really appreciate it. You guys take care, and I'll see you Sunday evening.